Another empty classroom, which means another trip. This trip, instead of going out west, we're going to go east. And we, meaning myself, yes, I'm going to go by myself again. My wife's going to be busy, so I decided to go out east this time. It's going to be interesting because usually I stop at KOAs and charge at KOAs, but all the KOAs I've called, they do not let me charge Teslas there anymore for some reason. They think it's going to mess up their electrical system. I'm not going to get into it, even though that is bogus. So instead of going into a hotel, which I'm hoping I don't get into a hotel, because I want to save as much money as I can, I'm going to go out east. I'm going to do what's called boondocking. And boondocking means you go to free areas that have very primitive amenities, such as restrooms and water fountains and all that kind of stuff. Very primitive, but it's free. So a little sketchy, but I'm going to do that. So what I'm going to do is wake up tomorrow morning, which is going to be Saturday, and leave around 12 after giving my plasma donation. Helps me pay for the trip. And head out 8 hours to Gettysburg. And what I'm going to do is once I get there, I'm going to spend the night right away, Boondock. And hopefully cook some good food over a fire. We'll see. I got all these dreams, but we'll see if it actually happens, okay? I'll wake up the next morning, which is going to be a Sunday, and Gettysburg opens at 10 o'clock, so I'm going to go ahead and tour Gettysburg and get the battlefields. They have an app there that allows you to get through the whole process in about two to 3 hours. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, and then I'm going to go up to north about an hour to go to Hershey, Pennsylvania, and I'm going to visit their chocolate factory, and then I'm going to head out into Sellersville around area in Pennsylvania, which is east side Pennsylvania, and I'm going to spend the night at my wife's sister's house, and then I'm going to head up north the next day, and that's going to be in Boston, Salem, and Plymouth. And then once I hit Boston, Salem, and Plymouth, it's going to take about 2.5 days to do that. Then I'm going to go to Acadia National Park in Maine, and I'm going to visit that park. And once I'm done with the park and looking for the Mothman, then I'm going to head straight back down to Cleveland and visit my mother in Cleveland, and then head back home. So that is going to be my summer trip, a little bit shorter. I'm assuming it's going to be about 6 days. It's going to start on Saturday, and I think it's going to end around Thursday. So maybe Thursday or Friday. So we'll see how long it takes, and we'll see how this trip goes. It'll be very interesting because it is very primitive, and I'll be boondocking a lot. Plus, I don't know how it's going to be when I'm going to be driving in Boston. Hopefully see the Freedom Trail and all that kind of good stuff, but we will see. So we'll take it on a whim's notice. I have not prepared very well for this trip, so I might hit some hiccups, and we'll see how those go. So we'll see. Here you go. All right, day one. Again, I got a Tesla Model Y long range, about 300 miles to the charge. The reason why I like to do these videos also is to show people that you can go long distances and take trips in electric vehicles and be very comfortable at it and actually make it pretty affordable. So this is my Tesla long range Model Y. Notice that in the front, all the liquid and some of the just grab and get sandwiches, mac and cheese, ravioli, all that kind of good stuff. And as we continue with this, you'll see I have a lot of good stuff in the passenger seat, and my bed is already down. Twin size bed, basically, full size right here. Clothes, everything's ready to go. I got this packed up for my camping. Got my visors to fit around my windows to make it all nice and black. So I'm ready to rock and roll. First stop, 8 hours, going to Boondock, right next to Gettysburg. So I should be there soon. We'll see how it goes. As we see, we're starting here, going down. down. We're going to charge right off the bat in Columbus, then we'll charge just by Pittsburgh, and then we'll charge just between the middle of Pennsylvania somewhere, and there's our boondocking spot right there in Pennsylvania that we will hopefully end up in about 8 hours. So here we go. I love Teslas, but man, I tell you what, sometimes at these stops, the superchargers, they're located in ridiculous places. Very rarely, like in the parking garage. I hate this one in Columbus. It's a parking garage, you have to get to it. It's just miserable. Kiosks, it's just stupid. There's no place to go. Shop. So it's ridiculous. Luckily, it's 10 minutes to continue our trip, and then we'll be on our way. We'll see. I hate parking garages with Tesla chargers. There's just nothing to do. You can't go anywhere. There's no mire. There they are. It is what it is.
People who know my dad say to me, "You're blessed to have his genes." I agree.
Alright, this is a nice station here. It was packed, but Sheetz is always a great place to stay for a while you're charging. I'm got another probably 5 minutes here. You can't really see. Now you can. And I got one more charging station to go to, and I'll be in Pennsylvania when I go to that, and then we'll head off to Gettysburg, and that's where we're going to boondock right there. So head out right now. Very rarely do you see a superchargers at rest areas. So this is a supercharger at the rest area. Alright, did some researching, boondocking, going to Bushman Hills campgrounds. Never been there, never boondocked before. We'll see what it's all about. I should be there in about an hour and a half. So, sun's setting, gotta find a place to stay. Alright, good news, bad news. Bad news, the boondocking area, no, it didn't work. It was actually in a park, and it closes at dusk, and it locks in, so on and so forth. Good news is I did find a place, and right there, Walmart. Went in there and asked them. They said, sure, you can go ahead and sleep here if you want to. You'll see some cars behind me also sleeping. My car's set up for it, though. I have TV, I got air conditioning, everything's ready for it. So you should be ready to go tonight. I should have a good night's sleep. Free of charge. And I guess when they say do your research before you boondock, you should do your research before you boondock, and I didn't do that. So I'm kind of eating my crow here. Good news is, though, I can go into Walmart, I can buy a camera holder, I can buy wood, I can buy whatever I need to buy for the rest of this trip. So we'll get a good night's sleep here, and we'll see how it goes. Sleeping tonight, watching a little TV. Be totally dark with the little shades on here, so we should be good. So wake up tomorrow morning, Gettysburg it is. I just woke up. Not bad sleep last night. Once I got to sleep, usually happens first night all the time. Takes a while to get to sleep. Got a nice morning here, Gettysburg and then Hershey. Let's get after it and see how this app works for Gettysburg. Breakfast of Champions. All right, let's get after it. We're going to the Gettysburg Heritage Center to start us off with. That's where you start the tour for the app. Let's see how easy this app is. Start your tour here at the Heritage Museum in Gettysburg. It's basically a gift shop and introduction to the Civil War. The little museum costs pretty penny to get in there, like 11, 12 bucks to get to the museum, but this is a good start.
On them throughout the tour. Continue straight through the next few intersections. Buford's cavalry defend with heavy fire. Bodies of Confederate soldiers litter these fields.
Charge to the bottom of the ridge. If they can break Confederate lines, defending their position will be a done deal. But on the open field, without the ridge and fortifications protected, the reunification of the United States. Maine granite forms the base, while Alabama limestone forms the pillar, a symbolic unification of North and South. An eternal flame of peace burns at the top, representing an eternally united nation. This ground. The brave men, living and dead, who struggled here have consecrated it, far above our poor power to add or detract. The world will little note, nor long remember what we say here, but it can never forget what they did here.
That's the end of the Gettysburg tour. Ends at the cemetery. It wasn't very crowded at all. It's a Sunday in the morning, probably 9, 10, 11. It's about took 3 hours to get through the whole tour. Probably could take longer if you want to listen to all the other stories, but you get a feeling of sadness kind of when you're in here, just for the fallen soldiers. You know, were they fighting for the right cause? Did they know what they were fighting for? And all the little stories were just huge. The stories of It could have tipped the tide of the war. One or two little things here and there could have really changed the outcome of the United States and really helped to establish who we are today as a country. Gettysburg didn't disappoint. Okay, we're going from something pretty historic to something that's pretty iconic. So, iconic being Hershey. So let's take a trip to Hershey, Pennsylvania and visit the chocolate factory. That's my kind of tour. Man, today's hot. We got a crowded day. Oh, I got a person leaving. I can go ahead and get a charge. All right, nice thing about having an electric car, we get the best seat in the house and get a free charge. Free charge point. And we're right at the entrance. Here we go. Let's go eat some candy. Big and fat. Look at all those cars. It's so busy. There's so many people here. Did not know this place was so crowded. The nice thing about having an electric vehicle, like I said, front row parking, this is actually a free charge. It didn't cost anything, but make sure when you do charge with these charge points, you need this adapter right here. That adapter. So, good to go. All right, day 3. Had a great night's sleep last night at my sister-in-law's, and they were very welcoming. I appreciate that, and ate good food and all that kind of good stuff. Now I'm off to Boston. A little boring day today. It's going to be all travel. Hopefully I can find a boondocking spot there, though. We will find out, but they seem more open and susceptible to boondocking than Pennsylvania in my area that I'm in. So off to Boston. It looks like it's going to be... No, it looks like we do have to supercharge. We do have to supercharge halfway through, about Bridgeport, and then we'll go to Salem. Well, I can officially say I've been to Connecticut. It's at a rest stop, supercharger. Trying to charge up as much as I can. The next stop will be hopefully my check-in to the Indian Head Resort. So here's the superchargers. Not very crowded. All right, pretty easy check-in. Nobody was there, but my paper was on the bench, and all I do is sign it. And I'm looking for campsite 22. Okay, we just found campsite 22. campsite 22 right here. Nice little fire pit. Picnic bench. And we got restrooms up there. Alright. I could put a hammock up here. I could make do with this. I think I'm gonna go eat dinner and maybe have a little lobster roll that my friend actually said I should go to a certain place to eat a lobster roll, so check it out and see if it's good or not. Alright, the seafood shanty. Hole in the wall there. You can see it right there. Ordered my food. Looks like we got the first lobster roll I ever had in my life. There's your lobster roll. There's homemade coleslaw, crab roll, some French fries, a little ketchup, and a Coke Zero. We will see. Okay, taste the coleslaw first. That's fresh. That's good. All right, let's get into this lobster roll. Boy, they have a ton of lobster in this. Look at that. Holy cow. Mmm. Oh yeah. It's 9:57. You'll see the shades are up in my car, which means basically it's going to be totally dark in here. I'm going to hit the hay here in probably 20 minutes or so, watch a little TV. Very productive day today. Left Pennsylvania early in the morning, about early for me, 9 o'clock. And traveled about 8.5 hours. I tell you, I had 3 traffic jams to get here. I got here a little late, around 5:15 p.m., and everything was closed, so I couldn't get anything done in Plymouth. But it was a really good day. I usually use these trips to refocus myself on God and Christianity. I listen to books on tape dealing with Christian topics, and then I listen to the Bible. I do my worship music, and it really does a good job with allowing me to reset myself, reset my spirit. And I appreciate people who let me go on this trip in order for me to do that. It was a good day though, but it was productive. I had my first lobster roll, $35 at Seafood Shanty. It was great. Very sweet. Coleslaw was amazing. And then I came back here, had a fire, cooked s'mores, had some mac and cheese. I slept in my hammock. I tell you what, it was a good day. It was a better day than I thought. Tomorrow though, I got to knock off the Salem Witch Trials thing, or Salem Witch area, Plymouth Rock and the Mayflower 2, and Freedom Trail. So I got to do all that tomorrow, and then start heading up to Acadia. Now, Arcadia is only about 2 hours from here, so it should be a productive day, but it's going to be a hot one tomorrow, 98 degrees. So I better enjoy this air conditioner while I can. So time for bed. Night-night.
I'm in Bar Harbor, Maine, and if you look, you'll see water right there, and water right there. And at 8:21, that water will touch that water. For high tide, you can't get to that island, which is unique because you don't want to be on the island when the water covers the whole thing, okay? So you have to wait until the water goes down like it is right now. Now you can walk across to the island if you needed to. So again, this is in Bar Harbor. Just park anywhere on the street and head out east, and you'll run into this area right here. Kind of follow all these people. You see all these people like sheep right here. Just kind of follow them all down this little road. Bar Harbor, Maine. A unique situation.
All right, trip 5 is in the book, out east. 2,500 miles, 14 superchargers, costing about $300. So travel expenses were $300 for 6 days, 5 nights. Went to Gettysburg, Hershey, Plymouth, Salem, Boston, Massachusetts with the Freedom Trail, and then Acadia, Maine, and then coming back home, of course. The only overnight stay that cost money was $171, and that was the Airbnb. That basically was the backyard, was the ocean. It was beautiful. Total travel time was 18 hours there and 18 hours back, so about 36 hours travel time. Usually that's actually really not that much of a travel time compared to my other travels out west, which was probably about 32, 33 hours there, and then of course 33 hours back. So I'd say pretty successful trip. Next summer, probably the Outer Banks or somewhere down south. Why don't you go ahead and comment in the comments where you think I should go next year, and I'll take a trip and we'll see how it goes. So hopefully you learned a lot about this, and hopefully you have any questions, write them in the comments below. Have a great summer.